Yeah, it is Tuesday afternoon at OG Foundation in Elodium. It's been a kind of rainy day. Been dodging storm clouds. Got 2 batches done, and really hoping they don't get washed out. But reaching up on that far side, and then this morning I did the back side from the ladder over there where there was the 3 squares there that I did the front side first, and then just doing the back side on that. And then I think there's a double coat on the beam across the whole way, and I've just about got those holes filled. Once I get those holes filled and then the backside smeared as well, then I will start cutting the lath and putting up lath for the Merlons on top, as well as maybe just a little bit of finish work on some of this. But that will be kind of the final stage of this facade project, of this tower, before doing a little wall extension here. But this is where we're at to start the week. It ended up raining after all, but I covered most of the wet mortar with plastic, though it kind of seems from here like it fell off. The stuff that I put on fell off, so I better go fix that. Look at this. Wisdom had a little baby. She was sitting on one egg that whole time. I wasn't sure if it was even a fertilized one. And then today I saw she wasn't in there. And I was like, oh no. And the egg wasn't there either. When I was putting them all to bed, there's these 5 stars chicks that are all up on the roost. Here's Star over here. And then Speedy's in there with her 7 chicks. And so one was missing. I was like, oh no, what happened? Because Wisdom had been in that corner one for so long. And so I found her on the ground out here. And I was like, what are you doing on the ground? So I picked her up, and then I saw the one little cute baby out there. So that baby must be a day or 2 older or something, but old enough to make its way out here. So all of the girls who sat on eggs were successful. Well, not Coco, but all the girls after Coco. There's a 5, a 7, and a 1. That's so cute. I'm so glad for her that she got that one. Speedy's still in the laying box with her 7, but they'll be coming out on theirs before long. Anyways, what an exciting 4th of July surprise. It's Wednesday afternoon. It's a really hot one today. And I did a bit of metal work this morning. I decided to extend the facade on this side, that short wall, around this structure here. And I'm using the pieces from a greenhouse, these like arched sections, to bend the lath, so that there's 2 arched sections, 1 straight section, to kind of mirror the pre-existing bend of the structure. And then I figure eventually I'll add kind of like a staircase here, which will go up top. So you can see this from the side. So, and then over here, I use these 2 pieces of remesh I got to help make this wall, the extension of this wall out here, which this one is going to be significantly shorter than the tower, but it'll have a matching crenellation, and will help with the integrity of the facade. And so it'll probably be too high there, but all that I've done so far is mortar the whole bottom to make a whole kind of beam there and kind of tie it in. And then I did the same thing over there. There's a number of different mortar points So the corner, and then like 4 different points on the bottom where it's just started to get mortared in. At least 4 points. And then over here, this is just about full. Just a few little pieces left, and there's a hole there. I'm gonna try to put a carabiner up in that corner, but I didn't have another heavy duty one, and the other carabiners, so I wrapped these ones in Scotch tape to prevent them from getting mortar on them. But I figure if there's a heavy duty one over there, there's also the potential for these two. Like you could hang like a hammock or several hammocks from one to the other. And then that one's basically sealed up. And then down here, I started on this project with the lath. So I got this piece of lath here mortared into that wall. And then on this pillar, the lath is going on the outside of the pillar, and then it comes to the inside of the pillar over here. Super hot today, so all this is drying out really fast. I've actually got to water it, which is what I'll do right now. But I am planning on making a second batch today. See if I go through a second, sweat through a second pair of clothes. That's all for now. Good morning. It is Thursday. I just finished prep for mortar. Yesterday ended up being too hot for me to do that second batch, but I did do some more metal work and bent the crenellations, at least the shape of them. So there's a good idea that on that side there's just going to be the 3, and then on this side you can't see quite as well, but there'll be 4 crenellations on this side, and they end up being roughly even Merlon to the crenelle kind of spacing. This is basically the same width of the thing that juts up as to the gap in between, and just very standard design. I haven't decided how tall to make them. They might get a little taller than that, but not quite as tall as that one. That one's the right width on the corner there, but I'm pretty sure they won't be that tall. Not positive, but pretty sure. But who knows? Maybe I'll like how it looks with the large crenellation if I go check it out down there. But anyways, I'm using these plywood scraps that I just recently scavenged as forms up against the lath, and so I should be able to build this wall, or get good coat on that whole section where all the plywood is for the most part, there as well as there. And there's a number of different areas around there, and then I'll probably start to get some on those Merlons, I imagine. So that's the goal for now, for today. But I'm gonna get started before it gets too hot. Another really hot one today, even hotter than yesterday. It is Thursday evening. I got a good batch on, basically, can you see? I can't tell, but on like the whole wall there, basically up to the top, I got a nice thick batch, just one coat on that, and then did a couple buckets here, making this like a bathtub, finishing that more and connecting a bunch of gravel and stuff, and then got some coverage on this wall here. And then just getting started on the crenellations. So there'll be 3 on that side. And got the first mortar on them, so they'll be somewhat stable and I can build them up. Here's a better view of this wall so far. So I just was the remesh is on this side, which made it a little more difficult as far as like stapling. I tried to staple the remesh to the plywood and also had issues with that, but it essentially worked. The concept worked, and other than a few holes in between where the pieces of plywood are, it was a great first coat, and you can kind of see the outline of the remesh on the outer layer. But as soon as the second layer is added, the weather is good enough to do it today, but my arms are just like raw from all sorts of burns. I look like abused, and this one's kind of her eyes well. So I'm trying not to. They're going easy on my arm as much as I can, so I'm probably not going to do another one today for that reason, but I might. We'll see. The boss man, Dino, showing all the young chickens who's boss. Thinking they're gonna get some watermelon. Not when Dino's around. Though he's nicer to the girls. But that's the girl he's looking out for. Those two girls, not the little ones. So get out of here, little girls. This is for my elder Grace. And the middle-aged Snow. Who even Snow's not gonna mess around with Grace. So she'll try. So can I get some, do you think? Can you let me get some? I guess she can get some. Hey, what are you doing over here? Kodiak, you can't be eating my toes. They're not for food. Kodiak slipped in the tree the other day. Brownie was gonna try to go with her, but I had to go back inside. You good girl, Brownie. Those boys aren't picking on you, are they? What about you, Doc Fett? You good girl. Oh, there's that rooster. Oh, who's eating the watermelon? Oh, Grace is getting it. Is Hercules gonna get a piece of that? Oh no, no. Clyde's keeping his distance. He knows better. Better watch out, Donna's gonna get you. Grace gets all the watermelon. Nightshade's like, how am I gonna get some of this? Victoria's getting in on it. Grace is like, these kids, they don't know. I have to show them around. She's gonna need some backup from Dino. She's gonna reclaim this here watermelon, I think. Oh, here he is. Uh-oh. Oh, what now, Dino? You flipped it. Game over. Here is all this form work here on Friday morning after the forms are removed. So we got most of it all covered. There's 2 coats on the back side, and then it just needs a coat on this side to cover up the rest of the mortar. I mean the lath, to cover up the rest of the lath. And then this section over here, I removed the plywood as well. And so the back side of that is all smooth, and I just got a couple sections to finish on that. And then I have to extend that over to here, as well as that hole, and as well as that hole, in order to insulate the top of this and then flatten it all out. So getting closer to that stage, and I'll probably be able to reset these forms and make that wall a bit taller as well. That's all for now. So there's prep for the second layer of lath. At some point it's going to get cut for the merlons and the crenellations. I just haven't figured out the spacing exactly yet, but I think I can mortar it up most of the way for everything that is secured there, and then figure out the rest later. Here's how this looks after one batch on it. So I got pretty good coverage, and even in between, oh, there's a butterfly there. Even in between where the butterfly is right there. In between where the forms were, where I was still able to get coverage. And then I just kind of made something up in that corner because it's kind of crooked a little bit in that corner, so just kind of made it work over there. And the butterfly likes it. I'm pleased enough with it. And then I just kind of eyeballed the top line. Woo! So not doing the lath all the way up, but just eyeballing it to try to make it like somewhat level-ish. So that'll probably be around the level of the crenellations, and then the merlons will rise up above that. But I need to keep the spacing in alignment with the other corner, but then also in alignment with where this corner will be. And I'm not all the way to the corner yet, because the corner will be like another 8 inches beyond where the wall ends to then go that way. Yeah, that's all for now. Check it out, I had over 2 full pallets of that Portland. I think there was like over 70 bags. And now it's down to the last 14. So that's how much has gotten done so far this season. And I'd show you the sand pile outside. Maybe I'll do that in a second, but that is almost gone. And here's what's left of the sand pile. It used to fill this whole area, huge mountain. And now there's just the end of it left, but hopefully enough to get through the rest of that Portland. It might not be enough to get through that Portland, but I'm planning to do some aircrete, so I think it'll all even out in time. But I was expecting actually there to be more sand, but that's how it all turned out. But it was a great use of lots of sand and lots of Portland. Check it out, batch 2. Pretty smooth. Tomorrow morning should be able to remove the forms, and depending on the weather, can mortar the other side. And then, yeah, you'll see. Check it out, end of the day Saturday. Started to get some coverage on this front facade thing facing the courtyard, and put that lath up there, which is going to be the extension of that wall where it comes around here. And then you can see the opening between these two is where the stairway to come up will be. And also, if you can see the merlons that I put up there, I added 2 big ones in the middle, which are even bigger than that one that I thought was going to be the biggest. So I think I am going to do the full one on the right side, and then I'll cut these 2 to be level with the one on the right side once I do that one. But they've all got some initial mortar on them. And then these ones, the shape is great, and they'll just get extended a little bit higher once I figure out the right one and then take the level off of that. So that's about everything for today. Extended that lath pretty soon. I'll be able to fill in that hole, and then after that hole, I'll focus on these holes over here. And one day at a time, 2 batches today. Nice a hot one. Check it out, you can start to see what the merlons look like from afar. So I'm really glad I made them bigger, because they need to be kind of big from the distance to be able to see them. But then once you see them, it's kind of unmistakable as far as that pattern being related to a castle. And then right now, all that vegetation is there, but then you'll end up seeing the wall at a lower level to the left of that, another 4 merlons. So So if I cut the vegetation away there, you can see the whole thing, but it looks cool even like that, just kind of poking above it, even before the merlons are finished. It's mostly lath, but I like it. Turkeys. They're trying to ambush me on my way home. Let's see what happens. I was just saying hi to all the horses. Bye, horses. I killed at least 3 big flies. Like horse flies, deer flies. One of them bit me. Alright, we'll see what they do. Hey y'all. It's okay. No big deal, you don't have to fly or anything. I'll wait for you. I wonder how many there are. Probably, oops, born this year. Gotta watch the camera, not the scenery. Coming through, turkeys. Oh, they made their way over there. See you later, turkeys. Sunday morning, I just took off the forms from the wall. So it's still got the staples sticking out of it from where it was connected. So some of those I'll pull out, some of those I'll bend down and then mortar over them. But already this wall, I mean, it's so tall and narrow, you'd think it would be kind of flimsy. But let's see this far corner. Like, it's pretty solid already with the 2 coats on the outside. I inverted you. I don't know if the lighting was any good for that shot. But I'm going to cut the appropriate spacing on the merlons, the crenellations, and then probably get going with mortar. And maybe take those poles down on some of those. See how solid those are. Monday ended up as a rain day. It's been raining all day. Though I was able to get some supplies at Home Depot. Got a whole bunch more steel, remesh, lath, and rebar to finish the whole Citadel project. I forget what happened in the last video, but been working over here. I think there was maybe a couple batches. See, there's water pooling from this rain. I think there was a batch or 2 since the last video. So this one got a batch on the inside. I got a line up for level, so the crenellations there will all be level. And then got more on the merlons up there. I'll end up doing a similar thing with a line over here because this one is clearly higher than those 2. And then now that I have the lath, I can bend the metal to get those merlons up to the height of these ones, as well as the 4 on this wall, where you can see this one jutting up is the first one. So there's going to be this gap, this space in between the tower and the wall section, and I think that that's going to look really cool. Even though it's a small gap, it should help to accentuate the tower. And then I've also realized, so there'll be 4, 1 on the corner, and then realize I'm going to put 1 merlon on the corner there, and then probably a merlon on the corner there. And then I got the remesh to extend this wall here connecting over to the tower, because if you can kind of see from here, the idea is that it'll be symmetrical. So there's like the 2-high wall on that side, so this wall needs to come up one more width of lath for the crenellations, and then the merlons on top, and it'll probably end up being 4, though I haven't measured, on that section, which will mirror that section, and then finish up these sections of it's not so much facade over here, it's more like a railing. It's like a railing for this upper area here, which I don't know, but I don't know exactly what I'm going to use it for, but I've got lots of ideas. It'll be great, great sitting area. It could be outdoor dining, you know. That's what I was thinking somewhat recently. So yeah, that's the end of the update for now. We'll see how much there's a lot of rain forecast. We'll see how much I can actually get done. But I would like to start completing some sections so that there's right now it seems like I got lath on this. So that rebar was like, I was gonna just hold it in there temporarily to push that wall out, and then it kind of got mortar on the bottom and it was getting kind of hard to pull out, and then I realized it would actually be a good tensile strength for that wall to prevent it from potentially leaning out by anchoring it down to the ground there. So even though it kind of messes with the look of it, just like that bottom wall kind of messes with the look of it as far as having those long narrow arches, it'll still be pretty long and narrow. It'll still work. And then eventually I want to put aircrete in here. So there's still quite a bit to do, but I'm hoping I can finish this project by the end of the month. Certainly by the end of summer, but by the end of the month, because I have some other projects I need to get working on, but I've just prioritized this whole facade thing for foreign relations, basically. And then as long as I get it done in the wintertime when the things die down, it's going to look really cool. So anyways, that's all for now. Alright, that's the last video for the week or whatever. So thanks for tuning in. See you next week.